I know that I told you guys I was going to assign the materials to this particular project, the rocket ship, before um, we do that. I want to show you how I'm going to extract the windows from the rest of the rocket ship. So first of all, I'm going to go to face, and I'm going to highlight those 6 faces, and I'm holding shift to do that. Now I know that I am actually selecting other faces, but I'm going to deselect those after I have the center of the window selected. So again, these are all the unwanted faces I selected. So I'll hold Control, make it a highlighted selection, and now I have these faces selected. Okay, next step is to hold Shift, press a period, and there we go. Now this outer rim, I actually want it to be chrome, so I'm going to continue to expand my selection until it goes all the way to the edge, and that's the last one. Now we'll go to Edit Mesh, Extract. What do you got? All the way down there. Okay. So these are my individual window shapes. And so I'll select all of these guys, go to Mesh, Combine, and then I'll repeat that same step I did before, selecting the individual window shapes. Okay, just like that. There you go. Hold Shift, and they're all selected. Now I'll hold Shift again, press period, and extract the windows from that particular border. So Edit Mesh, and then Extract. Perfect. So these are my windows, and these are going to be like a frosted glass. Oh, I forgot one. Okay, so let's select that face. Okay. Looks like there might be a duplicate in there. After I found that. Let's see here. There we go. Edit Mesh. Sorry, Mesh Combine. And then we'll rename that to round glass. Underscore glass. And then these guys are going to be chrome window case, and I'm going to save everything. Okay, now you can see in my outliner, right, and you can find your outliner by going to Windows, Outliner, and in this outliner it shows me everything that's in my scene. You see I have the old ventilation group. If I click on that plus sign, it expands and shows me that these used to be the rivets, you see, but it's not actually highlighting those rivets because I combine all of them. Okay, so I have this separated in a group. I have the entire rocket ship separated in a group because this is going to be a separate color. The windows are going to be separate material. That's going to be separate. This kind of ornamental design. These rivets are going to be a different color, that and this. Okay, so everything is going to look really good. I have the door on its own group. I have the holes, underscore ground, handrail, the structure, the base structure, and then the station control. Alright, so everything is on its own layer. What I'm going to do now is actually highlight all the objects in my scene. Okay, and if I scroll down in my outliner, you're going to see everything that's highlighted is reflected in my scene, and everything else are what we call empty groups. And I mean an empty group because they used to be grouped objects, but now since they're combined, that group is still in here, and it's we just need to organize things. So we'll go to Edit, Delete by Type History, and here we go. All right, so I deleted the history, and now I can select all of these empty groups and delete them without worrying about anything in my scene being deleted. Oh, I forgot the little control panel here. So let me combine that with this. Actually, you know what? That's going to be a different material than everything else. So that is found in here. I'll middle mouse button and drag it out of the group. Okay, so now I'm going to hold shift, select all of these empty groups, and sometimes I like to press 4 to make sure that I don't have anything selected. And you also want to go into your channel box editor and make sure that your layers are all turned on and that you're not deleting something in your layers when you're clearing out your outliner. So I'll press delete. So now it's a little more organized. You could see that my engine, I renamed it to engine, that is found under the rocket ship layer, our group. All of these objects don't exist anymore. And I'm going to remove the engine from that group. This shape here, I'm going to do one more thing. Highlight all the objects again in my group, or in my scene, and go to Modify Center Pivot. So that shape, okay, if I press 5, let's see, what is that object in here? Okay, that is an extra object that didn't make the cut, so we're going to delete it. And let's see here. Okay, that's the hand scanner, hand _scanner. So organization is really important when it comes to texturing items, and then as it works with the pipeline, if you're working for a company or just for your own personal preferences, you should always want to stay organized. Okay, let's see, engine, hand scanner. What is this object here? I'll press F to frame in. Okay, this will be, call this lookout. No. Yeah, let's call it lookout. Launchpad. This object here is, let's just call it hinge. And I just want to make sure everything is really organized. Okay, this is a lofted surface, and that is my mountain. T-A-I-N. Okay. They named it Mountain 1 because it seems as though I have something else already renamed as Mountain. Spaceship. See, as I'm expanding all of this is the interior, so I'll hold middle mouse button and take it out of that group. And then I'll press delete. That within a group, so I'll hold middle mouse button, take all of the geometry out, and then Chrome Windows, I'll hold middle mouse button, take all of that out. And so what I am going to do is eventually put these, not combine it, but put these together in a group. So hold shift, select that object, this, all of these guys, even the door, hold shift, like the vent, those guys. Okay, and this is the entire rocket. Okay, and you can see how it's outlined here. They all have names, and I'm going to press Control G, modify center pivot, and I'm going to rename that rocket. Okay, and we have the station, so I'll hold shift, select all of these objects, and Control G, rename this to launch _ pad. And again, you can see how everything is really organized. Now, this is the interior of my spaceship, and go into the group, I forgot. So what I am going to do is middle mouse on the interior, drag and drop it into the rocket group. Okay. This is a ground. This is a mountain. This is a rocket empty group, so I'll delete that. That is a curve that I turned off. You press 1 to turn it back on. And let's see. Okay, so this is the original curve that I used to create this shape. Alright, so I just press delete. The hand scanner, middle mouse, drag and drop it into the rocket. The ground and the mountain, I'll press Control G. And I will call this alien underscore planet. Okay, so as you can see, we condensed our scene down in our outliner to just 3 individual objects. Okay, 3 groups, but within each one of those groups we have objects. Right, so let me just rename this to rocket shell. Rocket underscore shell. Okay. And so this makes it easier for us to select groups of objects that are going to share the same particular material. And we're just going to use presets in Arnold. So I'll teach you guys how to assign Arnold preset materials to our rocket ship and wrap this up with texturing. And after we texture, we'll go into the look development phase, which you could say kind of go hand in hand with texturing, lighting, and rendering. So I look forward to see you guys in the next part of our tutorial.